Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind happypuppytruffles. Today I wanted to share with you guys a Shikishi or a display board kind of origami, and I was just going to do one here that sort of celebrates New Year's. And since this is the year of the horse, I thought I'd do something with that. And I've got my big Shikishi here. This is the board. You guys can use any kind of board, cardboard, mat board works great too. But I wanted to kind of go for that sort of like sunrise and a new year. So I cut out a piece of handmade paper here in this really pretty blue to use as my background. And then I was going to kind of have my sun up here somewhere. I was trying to decide where. And this is just a random kind of tear. I used a coffee lid kind of as a guide, but you can tell it's kind of off. But I kind of like when things are a little crazy looking. So it looks like the sun's really on fire. It's kind of cool. And then I've got this big piece of paper here, and it's going to make a horse. Now the only there's two traditional horses. One is the one that the little knight rides on, and I don't know if I really like that one so much. So I was going to do the flipping horse, and we can just stick it on here when we're done. So basically what we want to do is we're going to start off by gluing any paper that you might have onto your board. So I've got some paper here to make sure I don't get glue everywhere. It's up to you guys how much, glue you want to put everywhere, if you want to have it on the whole paper or just on the edges. The goal, of course, is to get it on the edges so that we can secure this paper onto the paper that the board that we're using. But it's certainly okay to put a little extra. And then I'll just get this kind of lined up here. And you do have a little time to kind of play around and shift stuff because it's not, the glue doesn't stick that fast, but that gives you guys kind of a nice blue sky. And then, like I said, I took some yellow to make a pretty little sun here that I was going to put. And I don't really want to be too confusing about if the sun's setting or rising, so I don't know which way. I think I'm kind of just going to go for it to be a little to the side. Kind of like my little horse is looking at it, maybe. That'll be a good way to think about it. So I'll get all this. And because I tore my paper, I have this cool kind of shredded edge to things because of the kind of paper I'm using. And that's just a technique if you like to have that effect. You can make sure you get some good handmade paper that has that quality to it. It's real fibrous. There we go. So I've got my sun in my sky. I'll go ahead and put this to the side. And I'm going to take my big piece of paper that I was using for this, and let me see what the shape is really quick. Well, it's a square, obviously, but let me see the dimensions just to kind of give you guys an idea. I did want it to be a little bigger, and it's almost 30 by 30. It's about 29.5. That was just kind of what I had lying around. I knew I wanted it a little bigger than just a normal 15 by 15 centimeter paper would have been a little too small. He'd be kind of like a little small horse looking at the sun. So, but what you want to do here is with the paper, and of course you can look at these directions too. I'll have the link if you guys want to follow more slowly for how to make the horse, but I'm just going to go through it kind of fast here with this larger paper. Got creases already in it from before. So what we want to do is we're going to make a square base. So I'm just going to start off by folding my paper in half both ways. And then also make sure that you've got diagonal creases going the opposite way. And since this is handmade paper, there's not really any, front or back necessarily. If there's a texture of the paper you like better, you can keep that in mind. But get this kind of separated out into. So you should get everything kind of down here into a nice square base. Then I'm going to do a petal fold here by just rolling my paper into the center. And then take the top part and fold down to create a nice crease along the edge, and then open everything up to reveal a big diamond shape here by reversing those creases at the top. And then just go ahead and return that flap down to the bottom. Turn it over, do the same thing going the other way. I've got a lot of fuzz everywhere because my paper is handmade paper. When you fold that, sometimes you can get pieces of the paper to come off, and that's totally normal. It just kind of makes your workspace a little fuzzy. So after getting all those creases there, then you want to just kind of open things up and find some opposite sides here to cut. You're going to be cutting from the tip right up to the top there. Right where that crease runs horizontally straight across everything. And then just do the same thing on the opposite side. You're only going to do this cut twice. You don't want to do it more than that. We're just doing it so that we can have legs. And then you want to try to return everything back. And if it returns back to this, that's okay. We want to just make sure actually that we can get it to open up back out to the square base shape. So if you need to, you can kind of unfold things, get back to the shape that was there before. And then make sure you're looking at the side that has the we'll make sure that you can split it into these legs like this, that you've got the part you cut here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take each of these little flaps and fold up, creating a crease that goes between where I just cut right to the edge here. So I'll go ahead and do that really quick. So once you get all four of those folded up, you want to then go ahead and just fold a tiny bit of what's up there down. And you can obviously try to get one and kind of mimic it so that you're getting the same amount folded down. It's easy to kind of accidentally kind of make one more than you need to, especially because this is so big. But you can try to eyeball it and keep things as similar as you can. And use the center crease that runs through it as a guide too, to kind of help you along. And then we're going to just take everything here and fold it in half and keep that part we just folded under stuck underneath so that we create what's going to serve as the hooves for our horse. Flip this over here. So you can see here now we've got the four legs of our horse, and I'm just going to take up here at the top and make this one of these the head. And you could choose arbitrarily here, you know, where you want to reverse the crease and, you know, the angle that you want to have the horse's head. I want it to kind of have an image that's kind of almost looking up a little, so I'll kind of leave it up a little there, like so. And then for the tail, you want to take it all the way down, so kind of pinch it all the way, if you can, down into the center, and then line it up with the edge that you see running through here too. So I'll kind of do that and make sure this folds into a nice point there, like so. And that's a finished horse. And depending on how things look with the way things have been folded, we can go ahead and kind of make everything more 2D by gluing the feet together here. It might be a good thing to do to kind of keep stuff. So I'm going to take some glue and try to glue together my piece so that it doesn't become a problem by being popping up every which way. I want it to be more two-dimensional, excuse me. There we go. And any part in here, like where you've got a seam and you could see that kind of opening up later, you could put some glue on that too, just to give it a chance to kind of get secured so that it doesn't pop open. And you can use that time to kind of make sure you've got good creases on everything there. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the head because I want this to stay pretty flat. And this crease here, this part I only need to do on the side that I'll be seeing on the top because the back side will be glued, of course, to the board. So then I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue on the back and then we'll put it on the board. Now, because of the size I made it, it's really big and I wanted it to be as big as I could because I want it to kind of take up the whole board and be a symbol for how big and wonderful the year is going to be here for 2014. You'll see a lot of like paintings and especially ceramic figurines that will be used to decorate the entrances, or what we call genkan, in the front of Japanese homes. It's a way of kind of bringing good luck for that year. And this is really just barely going to fit. But that kind of just is a fun little way to show an abstract kind of image for the new year. And if you sign your work when you're done, you can put a stamp or a sign at the bottom. Do that here really quick. Go. That's just one way that you can kind of use the traditional origami to make a fun decorative piece and a way to kind of commemorate the new year here with the Year of the Horse. I hope everybody who is the Year of the Horse, say usually those people have extra luck this year. So if you're one of those people, I hope you have a wonderful year. Everybody else, I hope you guys all have a great year too. Happy New Year. Thank you always so much for watching, you guys. I hope 2014 is going to be awesome. I'll have lots of fun, great projects for you guys to enjoy. So thanks always so much for watching, all your support, and I'll see you guys next time.